Welcome to the Music PRODcast, and we're here to picket and protest bad music. Just like the teachers in Ontario, apparently.
Well done. Bravo. Yes.
I love these intros. Good job, Kai.
So right now,
That's like Ron McLean level, man. Like that was, I like that. That's good.
That's the gold standard.
He is, man. Absolutely.
Right now, we all three of us don't have any school.
Nope.
We're all college
This is the
students.
strike episode. That's what we'll call it.
At Fanshawe. But yeah, right now, no teachers are working. They are protesting for equal contracts and equal pay between part-time and full-time teachers. Right?
Their logo
That's what
are the
they say.
ones I'm seeing on the picket signs, because whenever I drive past, I see all the teachers walking back and forth, and it says, same work, same pay. You know,
Yeah.
so it's like,
Yeah.
I just want to apologize first off. I am a little under the weather today, so I got my green tea here. You might get some sniffles and
Yep.
a lot of throat clearing, but
If
I'll do my best to.
Owen has to make an abrupt exit.
If I have to, yeah, there was an abrupt exit right before we started.
We're on emergency alert here, ladies and gentlemen.
So I'm really, we're making the most of it though. We're going to do it. And I'm excited for this episode.
The show must go on.
Yep.
Show must go on.
Yeah, let's start with some news. Owen, what do you got?
So,
Sad news.
yeah, I'm going to be a Bad News Bear again today. I guess that might be my nickname, actually, Bad News Bear.
Bad news bear.
But
Is it bad news bear
If I didn't
or bad
have-
news bearer? Which one is it?
Bad News.
We're off on a tangent here, but like, is it bearer or bear?
If we're going to,
for copyright
the bearer
reasons.
of bad news, that makes sense.
Yeah, bad news bearer. But if you like shorten it, it just sounds like a bad news bear. So it's like it's the same thing almost. Is it just depends
That's
on the way
cool.
you say it?
That's
Yeah.
cool you said that, because I never even thought of it like that. But like, I'm bearing bad news. But today's an especially sad one. If there wasn't all this sad news happening in the world, I wouldn't have to talk about it. But I feel like there's certain people in passings that are necessary to talk about on the show, just because of what we do. And last night, Gord Downie had died, lead singer of the Tragically Hip. He's been suffering from aggressive and incurable brain cancer for quite a while now. And yeah, it's just really sad news for the whole nation again. To me, Gord Downie and the Tragically Hip, they represent sort of like the Canadian dream in a sense. I really feel like all of our parents probably deeply connect to the Tragically Hip just as much as we do on a level. But our generation, our parents, their lives kind of directly paralleled the Tragically Hip's lives. When I was watching the final show last summer with my dad on CBC, I just remember how emotional it was for him, because like he's around the same age as Gord and stuff like that. So like I feel like our parents especially really connect with him on like a far deeper level than just music or where they're from or anything. So it's it's devastating for everyone around. It has been since they got the news of his incurable cancer.
Yeah, that was a sad day. I do remember when they talked about the news of just that he had brain cancer, and it was like, man, that was a sad day.
Just a little like anecdote about that. Like my dad saw the Tragically Hip back in 1989 on Canada Day of all days. Of course, they're playing a Canada Day show,
The most
right?
Canadian thing, yeah.
And this is before they were like the quintessential Canadian band. So this was Harris Park, 1989. It was right before they put out their album Up to Here. And apparently my dad was just in Harris Park with a few of his buddies. And he's waiting for this band to come on. And he sees them setting up all this gear. He's like, oh, that must be the roadies or whatever. Like they're like setting up their gear, get the amps and stuff. And then all of a sudden these guys just start playing, because they're a bunch of nobodies, right?
Yeah.
So apparently like they go right from like setting up the amp to just turning it on, just cranking out, like literally like New Orleans is sinking.
Yeah.
And my dad is just sitting there like, what?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
these are just like unknowns. Like even from that point, my dad kind of knew like they were gonna change the course of Canadian music.
I was talking to my girlfriend about how they, and we've learned in class as well, that they may not be able to go into the States and get a whole lot of airplay or even tour revenue, but like they can tour coast to coast in Canada and pack arenas, like 20,000 people a night, it's like not even a big deal.
Yeah, multiple shows.
Yeah, for sure. And I remember actually on a bigger scale even than that, I remember when they played Iverwin Stadium and sold it out. That's like 30,000 people plus. Yeah. So like,
their following
they're
is so
big
loyal.
deal. Oh yeah. Oh, hardcore fans, man. Like real hardcore.
Yeah.
I know for some of us in the program, it gives us a little bit of hope that we can have a career even if it's just in Canada.
Yeah.
You look at that and you're like, okay, it's doable, right?
Yeah.
I think they're still very relevant in Canada, but like another band who did something different and like went to the US. Well, there's two I'll give an example of. Neil Young is technically Canadian.
Oh, absolutely he's Canadian.
When do we ever talk about him being Canadian? We don't, because he left Canada and went to LA, and that's where he got famous. So the Americans like to hold him as like, no, like he's ours and stuff like that. Tragically Hip, they just toured up and down coast forever, and like it shows that they're loyal following. So the other one I was gonna say was Blue Rodeo. They went to New York and tried to get popular. Definitely,
it was really cool to see the support and the nation kind of get behind them.
Yeah.
When the news broke, like, I mean, and
especially that final show.
Yeah.
Did you watch that on CBC?
I didn't see it. I was working that night,
Right.
but so I couldn't actually watch it. But
Right.
I did hear that, like, basically, the whole nation kind of tuned in for that.
Oh yeah,
And
it was super emotional. It was a huge night at my dad's house. Like my dad invited like anybody that he would have invited to his wedding and their grandparents to come over to the house, and we just watched it on the TV. And it was like
It was an event.
it was like a religious, like
Experience.
very like it was intense and really sad and emotion fueled. And he died a champion. So
Yep. I have some news in the record label industry.
Ooh, do tell.
Sony signs a new licensing deal that could change how remixes are made. So they've signed a licensing deal with Remix Hits. It's a licensing company that users will purchase stems off the website, stems of Sony songs right now, I guess, pop songs, and then we'll be able to use them in their remixes. And then be able to distribute them through Remix Hits and have the money from sales be split evenly between the creator and the original owner.
So then that works, I guess. So the person who records the stuff, they'll get royalties because it's their material. But then whoever takes it and makes something out of it, pardon me, and then if that goes somewhere, then they'll get some royalties off that as well. So then what would did they say what the kind of the royalties, like because we've learned about this in copyright, like which ones do those fall under? Fall under. Did they say, or are we gonna do like guess which royalty it is?
I also want to say this real quick. I think this story kind of scarily mirrors almost what you were talking about last week with, or the week before, maybe it was, YouTube to MP3 being taken out. So I just know this from a producer standpoint. Before, if I want to remix a song, there's sites out there that have acapellas and fake stems that like people make by trying to isolate sounds out. But a common place to do a remix would I'd search like acapellas on YouTube. And then use that. So now that that's down, I feel like they want to, like they're just trying to make everything more accessible so you don't have to steal things, which I think is really cool. Because now that that's down, where are people going to go now? Like they can actually get the stems from this source. They can go here for that. So like I think they're taking all the right necessary steps to make sure everything is just like the business is right. Like if the money's right, everything else will be right. And then, like it'll be a better industry for the future. And that excites me because I know so many people, including myself, that are going to be so excited about that news.
It is funny to see how there is still very much a lot of figuring out that the industry is doing on how to make money off of stuff, right? Especially because when everything went digital and we got the internet, obviously everyone knows about Napster and all that kind of stuff. I mean, we're not going down that road again, but it is funny how they're still trying to figure out ways to make more money and make it make sense compared to how it used to be when it was just a hard copy thing and you went brick and mortar, door to door to get it, right? So all the implications of that are they're exciting for producers who do stuff themselves. That's cool. But it is still funny just to see them poking. Like there's still kind of in so many ways it feels like they are still just kind of throwing darts in the dark to figure out how to make it work, right? So
do you think this is a good throw?
I think
Do you think this makes sense? Like, think about like
I think it's I think it makes some sense. Like it's
yeah, like that's where music's going. Like, is kind of like the whole remix route and the whole DJ thing, and like being able to remix songs how you want to fit them into a playlist, so it can just be part of a party mix and stuff. Because like, yeah,
in a way though it does it further goes down the road of it's just everything gets more and more diversified, and it's like there's so much all the time everywhere. It's overwhelming. It's like I don't even know where to look anymore. Like I mean,
for music,
yeah, just in general, because like there's all like people could even now it's that way with Spotify and YouTube and stuff. There's all these people doing remixes and stuff online, or doing covers or whatever it is, and like it's really cool, but like people don't even know that it happens because there's just so much coming at you all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And this might be further down that vein of just kind of making that even more. I'm not necessarily saying it's a bad thing, but it's not doing anything to prevent that from happening. It's more of that, right? So I guess the good with the bad. I don't know if it's like earth-shatteringly amazing, but it might help some people get paid, which is what we're here for.
If I'm gonna play devil's advocate for
That's
you
fair.
here,
Fair enough. Do it.
just for discussion's sake, there's also a company called Dubset,
Dubstep.
and it takes
Dubset.
yeah,
Dubset. pardon me.
DUBSET.
I said dubstep. Got it.
Yeah, it takes music created with copyrighted derivative works, so remixes, and clears them with the original rights.
The original holder.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Interesting.
And if you do this, you're
How
able
long have they
to
been around?
a lot longer than, not a lot longer, but definitely longer than remix hits. That's a bit more recent.
Right.
The thing is, if you're using it, you can distribute it however you want to. If you use remix hits, you have to distribute it through their website.
Oh, okay.
And there are still some questions of whether you'll be able to get it on Apple Music or Spotify as well.
So it's limited then. It's very
Dubset
limited.
also doesn't cost anything. Like, it's free for people to use. So I think that might be still the way
gold
that
standard.
the way that remixers do it. Like, it's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission.
I know there's a lot of people out there who really hate that saying, but that I think that definitely holds true in this case. It's one of those we'll figure it out as we go.
Yeah.
Right.
I like that saying at the end though. What'd you say about people would rather ask for forgiveness?
It's easier to ask forgiveness than permission.
Yeah.
It's not a country song, by the way, ladies
No.
and gentlemen. That is a saying. That is a
Yeah.
saying. Yeah. I like that saying.
I also have one more news article for you guys. I think, Luke, you might be especially
Interested?
in this one. On October 21st, Arby's, the entire Arby's
You've
chain
got my attention, baby.
in America, will be selling deer burgers. We'll be selling
Euphoria.
venison burgers for one day only.
One day.
One day
Why are you
only.
gonna play me like that? That's mean.
On October 21st.
Okay. Well. Yeah. Wow. Happy day.
Yeah, they did it last year for a month in 6 states. Some locations sold out within 15 minutes.
Whoa.
I think
take
on opening.
a hint, Arby's. People want venison, man. Like, it's good stuff.
The thing is that to produce that much venison, it took them an entire year from last year. So since they did it last year, ever since then, they've been working with a company in
trying
New
to get some
Zealand
more.
to get enough.
So is it
venison?
Are they doing?
Just hunting
It'll be
deer.
stag then, right? If it's coming from New Zealand, it's red stag down there. It's
probably.
not. It won't be whitetail. Yeah, it's still. Man, that's delicious stuff though. But like,
This guy.
Of course, he knows.
White stag, not the red tail. What do
red-
they have at the North Pole, buddy?
they don't have any deer up there, but they do have caribou in the northern
Reindeer.
area, and that's a form of deer. Caribou are like, caribou are often
reindeer?
they're similar to reindeer. They're very similar. It's actually. A lot of times people portray reindeer and they make them look like caribou, like in the Santa Claus. They look like caribou. They call them reindeer. It's like they're not the same thing.
They do look like caribou now that you say that. Like in every Santa Claus movie with Tim
they-
Allen, they probably use caribou.
They are just caribou.
They're just caribou, yeah, exactly. And those are the deer of the north. Then they've got elk, obviously in the northern parts. There's moose, there's whitetail, there's mule deer, there's Sitka deer, there's all sorts. It's and then there's red stag over in Scotland, which are also down in New Zealand, parts of Australia. They have stag down there. They have smaller ones as well, but yeah. So
Along with the deer that they will be serving up in Colorado, Wyoming, and Montana, they will also be selling elk sandwiches
man, oh man.
to go along with the deer.
So is it gonna be in Canada?
Nope,
Damn,
only in America. I
across the
think.
border.
Yep.
Luke's got a road
Making a trip, baby. Here we go.
Yeah.
Got to make this happen. That's cool though. I really like that. Like, I do understand that it's a little bit of an issue to procure that much.
Yeah.
Obviously, and if they sell it that fast at school, it might be better if they didn't make it a kind of a constant thing, and if it was just more of like a special limited edition thing.
I think that's the only way they'll keep it exciting like that. Like if they just added it to their menu, then people wouldn't care that much.
And you think about it, like that's a really good way for them to generate a lot of revenue really quickly.
A lot of buzz.
And in a way, it's also kind of a cool way to make their brand gain some ground. To do something like that. It gets people who might have otherwise been uninterested or not care to be like, oh, like even me. Now I'm like, I think I'll try Arby's next time. Now that I found out they're doing that.
Do you think it also could work in the opposite way?
It could. There are people who
think
would. Yeah,
Arby's is a complete redneck chain because it's serving up deer.
And their
elk.
symbol is a cowboy hat. So I know. That's a very fair point as well. But I think based on the fact that what you just said about sales last year, I think the pros outweigh the cons in this situation for sure. As a business decision, I like it.
And I don't know too much about the brand of Arby's, but I feel like they might already sort of
appeal to the cowboy and all of us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. The Tim McGraw.
No one's going to Arby's for a first class meal.
I
It's
only
true.
go to Arby's for curly fries personally.
Which
curly
will
fries are good.
which will be included on the burgers.
See,
Actually,
Curly fries on the burgers?
okay, I'll give you
Or with the burgers.
the sandwiches.
We need answers, man.
The sandwiches
On the
features
burger? That's crazy.
a thick slab of venison steak with crispy onions and juniper berry cabernet
I'm getting
sauce
hungry, man. This sounds delicious.
on a toasted roll.
Have you ever had venison?
Yes. No, I've had moose meat. I've never had venison.
How do you like the moose?
Moose was very good. Someone gave it to me on a sandwich. Like they went hunting with their family, and then they're like, it was like at the lunch cafeteria, like, yo, try this moose sandwich. I was like, I got to. Like,
Yeah.
I don't even want to, but I have to. Like, you know, it's like,
For sure.
when am I gonna be asked that again?
Yeah, that's a very fair point. Yeah. But it's good. I really
It
like
was delicious. It was like moist. I was like, wow, like
it's a good word, moist.
It's a very bad word.
Like, I'll give you another one. Succulent. It was
Very succulent.
That's even worse. Oh.
I don't mind that word at all. But that's, yeah, it's great. And venison is in the same vein. I know a lot of people because like I grew up and I hunt. Obviously, I know you guys know that, but for our viewers out there, I grew up and I did a lot of hunting and fishing when I was younger. I don't get it as much as I'd like to, but a lot of people don't necessarily like that stuff because they say it tastes really wild and gamey. I love it.
How can something taste wild? It's like, oh my God, like I taste the freedom in this.
No,
like,
what they mean though is like the muscles get used more in wild animals, so there's more blood that goes through the muscle tissue and fiber, so it's thicker, and it gets used more. So sometimes there are more striations in the muscles as opposed to a domestic animal that doesn't necessarily get as much exercise.
Yeah.
Luke, the scientist.
Wow.
The facts.
Yeah. There's science.
That
behind
makes
it.
sense. That's actually cool. That's the answer I was looking for.
There you go, man. That's what I'm here for.
Cool.
That's why you guys keep me around.
That was cool.
Random trivia.
Yep.
There you go.
Interesting.
Moving on from the deer talk.
We got a lot more out of that than I thought. I thought you were just going to say that. Then we go. That was cool. All right, good.
We're going to be looking at $5 Bill by Corb Lund today
Yes.
in the redneck in this
Nice
redneck
segue
vein.
from Arby's to Corb Lund. I think
Yeah.
you'd be proud of that one.
Yeah, he's a Albertan-born country
sir.
artist.
Yeah. He's a country, but kind of almost more like folky.
Yep.
Right? Like he has some country-ish songs, but he has some there's a very, very strong folk.
Like roots.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Real rootsy.
I wrote my new song on a $5 bill, but I won't be able to sing it until I get hot on the trail for to pick up the track of the dirty little thief and get my $5 back. I first got the $5 from a Montana man when he come across the line with a pistol in his hand. He said, give me all your money, but I got to his first, and I took his Colts too and the whole first verse. You see, you couldn't buy liquor in the States back then, so we saddled up the ponies and we loaded up the gin. Rode underneath the shadow of the grand old chief to get to Northern Rocky Mountain kind of tax relief.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Oh, it is. Hated it.
This is like having an ice pick rammed in his ear.
I wrote my new song on a $5 bill, but I won't be able to sing it until I get hot on the trail for to pick up the track of the dirty little thief and get my $5 back.
You're like a $5.
He feels like a $5 bill today, ladies and
That's
gentlemen.
very good. To contrast I feel like $1 million. I feel like a $5 bill right this second.
Dirty old $5 bill.
Like when you found like somewhere that you almost didn't pick up, but you need that coffee, so you grabbed it.
Grab that dirty $5 bill.
Oh, that is me.
This song is quite the story. It's something. I have a condensed version of the story.
Let's hear it.
He first got $5 from a guy from Montana that was trying to rob him.
Okay.
The songwriter sells illegal alcohol in Montana because it's prohibition in the States.
Yep.
He's in the cattle business as well, but they aren't paying the bills. He's in debt. So he went down to Montana. The alcohol he gave the Americans made them throw up. They got mad, so they came back up across the border to try and kill him, I'm guessing. And then the songwriter steals their guns, but one of the guys from Montana stole his $5, which he wrote his song on.
So he can't get that.
So he needs to get his $5 back because he wrote a song on the $5 bill.
That's a crazy story. How what kind of pen was he using?
Hashtag relatable.
Couldn't do that with our money nowadays, though, because it's plastic. So you need like a magic marker or something. You can.
Yeah.
What size of pen was he using? I want to know how he got a whole song on a $5 bill. Like, that's not a lot of space, man. Whew, this guy's pretty.
It's true.
Pretty
Even
crafty.
just to write that song.
It's a lot of words in that, man.
It's like, wow, he's got. How'd you read it too?
How did Corb Lund find the $5 bill? That's what I want to know.
That's funny. They say the best songs are written on martini napkins, right?
Yeah, just whatever you can find at the time, because it just. Yeah.
Owen, what did you think of that? For the 15 seconds that you listened before you had to
I think we know the answer to
leave.
that question. But
Personally, I sound like such like a. All the time, I feel like when I like last week I didn't really like the K-pop. This week I didn't really like the. I wasn't a big fan of this song, but if I was gonna listen as objectively as I could, it's very old school.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just rootsy, like it's folk more than country. Like I would just call it straight folk. Like what I call that music is washboard music. Like that's when I hear that music, I think of someone scraping
sitting
the
on the porch, just
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's cool. It's just not my cup of tea. Like the first thing that came to my mind when I even heard the intro was like Beverly Hillbillies.
Absolutely, man. No, I hear that.
You know, and I love that show. My dad loved me that show, and I love to, I love parodies of that kind of stuff. And the thing is, like, this guy's the real deal, right? Like, this guy's actually like, this is what he believes in, this is what he's behind. So it's cool when there's someone that pure that's actually just trying to make music that they totally connect with. So I'm not gonna knock anyone for doing that. Like, I think it's
pretty
cool.
authentic.
Yeah.
Like, it's pretty authentic. It's his own thing, right? Like, he's not really.
Exactly. Like, and it feels that way. Like, you can't fake that.
Yeah.
You can't fake that. If I tried to do that right now, like, it would just sound like a joke. But, he makes it sound authentic and cool. So, just from that standpoint, I'm never going to listen to that song again. But, good job.
Yeah. Luke, what were your first impressions?
I think bridging off a little bit of what you said, Owen, I think first thing about Corb Lund that I've always noticed and that I always mention is the fact that as a songwriter, he's immaculate. I find the way he puts his words together, I'm just like, man, it's so well written. Like it really, and like I know, as you said, Owen, it's not necessarily everyone's cup of tea. They don't want to hear the music, or they don't like the way that it sounds, or whatever. There's a myriad of reasons, but I think his lyricism, it's just, I'm always blown away by it. The way he puts his words together. He's a poet.
Can I read one of the verses for you?
Do it up.
Okay. You see, you couldn't buy liquor in the States back then, so we saddled up the ponies and we loaded up the gin, rode underneath the shadow of the grand old chief to get some northern Rocky Mountain kind of tax relief.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
That's such amazing
He doesn't just
prose.
say it. Like, this story is there, but he's not just coming in and saying, like, oh, there's prohibition in the States, so I just packed up some booze and went to sell it down there, you know? It's a cool way to say it, so I like that.
The shuffling drums, they just sort of keep rolling.
Keep it rolling.
So do the lyrics, they just keep going, and that sort of aids in the storytelling of the song. Like this, the song and the story just keeps on going.
Absolutely. It's not necessarily dynamically the thing. Dynamics aren't what jump out to you when you hear that song. It is what you said. It's kind of, the story is what keeps you listening.
The arrangement also sort of points to that. It's so simple. I only heard like drums, bass, a guitar, and then a slide guitar.
I just pictured a big old guy with a dog house. There's a boom.
Absolutely.
Yes.
The old shovel just plucking away on
He has like a thing of hay in his mouth, just like.
his overalls just blink, blink. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's so simple. Like the focus is definitely the lyrics and the vocal
Absolutely.
and telling the story.
It's the song is king, and I think that and the lyrics, and I think that it's very apparent with Corb Lund's music always that the lyrics are the thing that he's always focusing on. He's not trying to write something that's gonna, jump out on top 40 radio. It's like if you're listening to Corb Lund, you want to hear some stories and some kind of quirky takes on stuff, right? So
The only embellishment that I really heard was the slide guitar, which sort of had like a little line
Like the pedal steel?
at
Yeah,
the
I
end
like that.
or at the
That was
beginning
cool.
of like a section of the chorus or the verse to just sort of like fill in the space.
I really like the sound of a pedal steel. I actually do.
Pink Floyd, man. They use it, right? Like
That's kind of, that's probably where it stems from. Like, I think it always, to me, like, that's the thing that my ear gravitates towards. If I ever listen to a song like that, whenever it comes on, like, I always really appreciate whatever that person is doing.
Yep.
can add a lot of emotion in a weird way. Pedal steel can. I know, like, there's a lot of people that kind of make fun of it as an instrument because it is so often associated with country music. But for example, like I just said, the Pink Floyd thing, like there's some of their songs where they'll put it in the start and it kind of makes the mood of the song is instantly set by it. And it can do that for sure.
It's so really similar to a vocal that it's able to do that.
Exactly. And
that's
true.
true.
Kind of like, it's got that like lonesome kind of sort of feel to it. It kind of draws that emotion out of people.
It's true that you immediately, are like put in the mood. Yeah. It demands a mood from you. Because guitar, you can make it sound sad, you can make it sound that, but like I feel like a pedal steel, like it's hard to make that sound happy.
You can, but you have to play it faster. When you play it slow, it's just it's like a violin, right? You kind of draw on the note. And if you're playing it fast, like people play it fast sometimes on Nashville sessions, like Brad Paisley has a bunch where his pedal steel player will be like picking really, really fast.
Chicken picking.
Exactly.
Almost,
kind of a thing, like kind of makes it more sound almost like a banjo. And that would be the way you'd make it feel a little bit more, there's more levity to it then. But
And then the acapella chorus,
I was worried you were just gonna play an acapella. Because I've heard songs like that. Like I've heard old Lead Belly songs like that. Lots of old
Lead
folk
Belly
artists. Like I thought maybe that was gonna be a song that he just like started clapping or something.
That might not be the best song for a production podcast.
But I thought you were always gonna do that as a joke, to be like, they still make songs like this, you know? Like I was like, that's why I looked at you when I first started. I'm like, oh no, it's gonna be like one of these like just hoaxy like poem like. But and I love Lead Belly. I love Lead Belly. But.
Is there anything that we can plug for you, Luke?
We haven't even introduced Luke yet. Sorry, this is Luke Zuwala, everyone. Yeah. We actually didn't even at the start. We just went right into like the
He's just a friend.
We got a friend of the show, Luke Zuwala here. Yep. You know, he was kind enough to come on. He's been working on some music of his own. So, you want to tell us about that at all?
Yeah. So I write a decent amount. I try and write every day, and then now I'm working on putting together like a bit of a country metal hybrid kind of a band. It's like country lyrics married with some. It's like I describe it as like Pantera meets Johnny Cash.
Okay.
Kind of a thing. You got heavy riffage with double kick stuff off and on, and then more of like a country lyric to it. So like not necessarily like a Luke Bryan country lyric, but more of like a, So that's kind of the project I'm working on right now, which is it's going pretty good.
That's cool. It sounds like a interesting combination of flavors.
Yeah, that's everyone says that when I bring it up, and it is. But yeah, so there's not a ton of people that are doing that kind of thing, but even Eric Church at times, like when you see him live, it's way heavier than it's recorded.
Yep.
And that, as much as anything, has kind of been like I know you guys both know I'm a huge Eric Church fan. He's my favorite country artist by far, and it was born out of when I saw him live, specifically just how hard it hit me. Like, this is the music married with the lyrics. It was like, I loved it recorded. It sounds great. But when you were there in the live scenario, live setting, it was like, man, you couldn't not get into it. It was just like, it hit like a freight train. It was so cool. So I was like, well, why don't you just do it that way like all the time? So
Yeah.
I'm trying it.
Awesome.
I dig
Getting
that.
into our game, we will
Game time.
we will
ladies and
see
gentlemen.
if Luke's country background will be able to lift him over. Owen, in this game, I'm calling country song or something I just literally made up.
Oh boy.
Oh, so you made it out this
Here we
time.
go.
Yeah. We have a bunch of country lyrics, not country lyrics, country titles, and then mixed in with that a bunch of
Gibberish.
a bunch of country titles that I've made up
Okay.
for you to try and trick you.
Oh, we're trying to find the legit ones from the illegitimate ones.
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I have 10 song titles for you here.
All right.
Luke,
sir.
would you like the first one?
Let's do it.
Okay. She's my honey bear. She gives me the honey.
I'm gonna say something I literally just made up.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm excited to just hear the ones that you just made up now.
Yeah, that's good though. Like that could easily be like a really old country song, but it's not.
That was
Okay,
good.
here we go on.
So creative.
I flushed you from the toilet of my heart.
You made that up.
No, that's a country song. Luke takes the lead here.
It's an early lead. A lot of time left on the clock.
I was raised on a farm, not a barn.
I'm gonna say that is a country lyric.
Nope,
It's gibberish.
I just made that up.
Okay. Wow.
I'm feeling good about this so far. I'm proud of myself for tricking you guys.
Stumped, man.
Yep.
Damn.
This is good.
I married her just because she looks like you.
Oh man.
Country song.
Yep, it's true. It's all tied up.
Tied
One
it
more.
up. Damn.
Here we go, Luke.
Sir.
Make like a horse and hoof it.
I gotta say that's a country lyric. I have
Nope.
to say that's gibberish.
Nope.
To it. Wow.
I made that up.
We underestimated your creativity.
Here we go, Owen. The pint of no return. The pint, the pint of no return.
Either way, that's really clever.
Very clever.
Yeah.
For sure.
How clever do you think I am, Owen?
We know Kai
I'm
is
gonna
clever.
say. I can't imagine you saying that to me. I'm gonna say you made that up.
Yep, I did. Wait, no.
That's a country lyric.
Yeah, that is a country lyric.
It's a country
Yeah.
lyric.
Yeah. I thought you were going the other way with
Yeah.
it.
I thought you could have.
I was like, for sure, when you said that, I'm like, that's got to be a country
Yeah.
lyric for sure.
Yeah.
Because
I'm not
I feel
that
like
clever.
Kai has like
What?
said the pint of no return to me. Like I feel like.
But that'd be a reference to that song.
Okay.
probably, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Here we go.
One. Still. Dang.
4 more.
Here we go.
It's nail biter. If you were a guitar, I'd pick you first.
See, now that's a great line. And
It is really good.
country lyric.
Nope. I made that up.
You're staggering this stuff.
Yep.
Oh,
Here we go.
how is that not a country lyric? Like, honest to God.
She's got
Looks like you
freckles.
found a ghostwriter.
I know, my man.
She's got freckles on her, but she's still pretty.
That's country lyric.
Yep. it's
Because
true.
you would. I can't picture you saying something mean about
Yeah.
freckles.
And what the hell's wrong with freckles?
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm with the guy who wrote
don't
the
know.
song. What's wrong with freckles?
Yeah. Who is that? You know? That's fine.
Okay, last 2. This is sudden death for you, Luke.
I know.
Right now.
Dang.
It's 2-1 for Owen.
Falling behind.
Here we
you.
go.
If he doesn't get this, I win.
Yeah. You're dormy.
You're the reason our baby's so ugly. You're the reason our baby's so ugly.
I'm going to bridge off of what Owen just said and say that I don't think you would say something quite that mean. So I'm going to say that's a country
Yeah,
song.
that's true.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a country song.
Yeah.
That is so funny.
Yep.
If you had made that up,
I know.
Yeah.
oh my god!
I was like, I just can't ever imagine
So
Kai
rude.
saying that.
Yeah.
Right, like Kai's savage, but not that level.
Not that level. That's harsh, man.
Here we go. It all comes down to
Can you
this.
comes down
imagine
to
hearing
this.
that from someone?
It's 2-2.
Ouch, that would cut deep.
Final song.
Ooh.
First, because everyone believes their baby is like the most beautiful thing that like.
So then
to
even
hear
just
that
say
you
it's
think
ugly.
because of you.
Look at that other person. I
That's
know.
like the worst thing you can say to someone. Like that's one of the worst things.
Right in the face.
Yep.
Just
with a
tear-
shovel.
Just tear their soul out.
Yeah, man.
Jeez.
You ugly.
Are you ready for the final
why?
question?
I'm ready. I want this so bad.
He wants to take down The skyscraper.
Because I lost, or no, I won this game last time too. So this might be a repeat victory.
I left her, and it was right. I left her, and it was right. You
That's
can't read
another-
me.
that's
That's
another-
not fair. That's not part of the game.
It's a good line.
Can't do it.
It's another good line.
Keep your eyes to yourself.
We got so many good
That
lines
sounds
here.
like you trying to imitate a country lyric. So I'm
sure?
gonna say you made it up.
He's going with you made it up. Kai.
That's true. Yeah, I made that up.
Oh, Owen wins. How about that? Bravo.
Congrats, Owen.
Congrats, Owen.
Number 2.
What's-
Good game, buddy.
Yeah, man.
Good
What's your
stuff.
record so far, Owen?
Well, I've won 2 of these ones, so I guess I know my country very well.
2
No,
1
just
and
kidding.
1.
I never
I
listened.
think 2 wins, 1 loss.
What was the
1
game
tie?
with Zach? Oh, Zach.
Oh, with Zach. What was that?
The famous.
Oh yeah. Zach won that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
You couldn't get any of
Oh
them.
yeah,
The
I didn't
drops.
get a
It was
single
the
one.
it
We
was the
only got
drops.
one at the end.
Yeah.
That was rough. Right, I remember
2
that.
2 and 1.
So we're doing decent.
I'm
you know?
0-1, man. Goose egg. Dang.
Yeah.
Brutal.
What does that about wrap it up for this week?
I think that's probably
Yeah.
the end.
stuff.
I'm very proud of myself for
You
coming up with
stumped
those
me,
lyrics.
man.
Yeah.
No, those were good, man. That was good. That was really smart. And again, thanks, Luke, for coming on.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Did you
having me,
have a good
guys.
time?
Oh, yeah. Always a good time here.
And till next time, everyone.
Yeah. Thanks for listening.
Bye.